Guys, so I swear my channel isn't turning into an unboxing channel, but unfortunately I didn't catch any fish today, which means I'm in my house doing an unboxing again. I spent a solid 7 hours out on the ice today and I didn't even get a bite. I'll show you some clips here. Alright, so looks like I'm fishing about 11 feet deep here. I'm marking something down there. Yeah, I know, a lot longer than I remembered. Something came up and kind of looked at my bait. Anyway, so it just so happens that when I got back from ice fishing, I received a package in the mail from my good friends at the Hookup Tackle in Arizona. Man, I love that store. But anyways, I ordered a bunch of smallmouth lures for the springtime, and I just figured I would show you guys what I ordered just because I am super excited for open water. It's only a month away, roughly, where I live in New Hampshire. And I can smell it. I can smell it. I also can smell my barbecue calzone that just came too. So when I went on the Hookup Tackle, the idea was just to pick up a couple Finesse smallmouth lures. Nothing really major, but when I went on the website, I saw this sweet Limia dish lure, and that's what I'm going to start off today with. The Hookup Tackle has a ton of Japanese baits, and when I think of Japanese baits, my mind instantly goes to megabass. So I picked up a megabass Pop X in triple illusion color. Now, megabass each month comes out with a Respect series lineup, and it comes out with like a limited edition color in limited baits every month. Last month in January, I believe it was Tequila Shad. In February, it's Triple Illusion. And I don't think I'm actually going to use this bait. I like collecting lures, so this one is probably just going to stay on the box and be hung up on my wall. So these go by super fast on the Hookup Tackle's website. So when I went there, the only thing they had left was this Pop X. But to be honest with you, I don't really mind. I didn't really get it to use it, I just got it for the color. But as you guys can tell, there's 3 different color changing paints in here. Well, I hope you guys can tell. But there's color changing paint on the belly, the side, and the top, hence Triple Illusion. But like I said, probably not gonna be throwing this bait. It's probably just gonna go on my wall because it's a Limia dish lure. Oh, here you go, girl. Here you go, girl. You want some calzone? Up, come on, up, up. Or sit, that's fine too. My dog's down here. Say hello. Something that I don't necessarily do a lot of the time is finesse fish, like a drop shot, a little Ned rig. I'm like a super power fisherman, so I like a crankbait, a spinnerbait, something like that. So for me to order these drop shot baits is a huge leap in the right direction for me. Because sometimes you really have to downsize to these small finesse baits to hook up on some big smallmouth. And these are the 3-inch Hazadong shads from Megabass in sight chartreuse color. Just has a pearl belly chartreuse back. Let me take it out of the package. But I think these are really cool because they come with little eyes on it too. Now this bait specifically, I'm going to be fishing this bait on the river. Because of this little paddle tail here, all you're going to be doing is basically just holding your line tight and just letting the current work through your bait and move this paddle tail. I mean, I'm not even moving my hand and this paddle tail wants to go. So if I just sit this on some 6, 7, 8 pound line and just keep my line tight, this paddle tail will be swimming in the river current and I won't even have to do anything to put action on the bait. Honestly, by no means am I the best drop shot fisherman. I actually think I'm not a very good drop shot fisherman. But another way to fish this too is, one, super slow, but another way you could do it is just drag this along the bottom here. You really don't want to just hop it and shake it like you would like a little worm, like a 6-inch robo worm or something like that. This you just want to drag along the bottom. Now, like I said, I'm going to be throwing the Megabass Hazadong shad on a drop shot. And one of the drop shot hooks I use is actually a pretty inexpensive drop shot hook. It's actually made by Eagle Claw. It's just a little trocar hook. And just a little tip for you guys when you guys are finding a drop shot hook. If you guys can tell, this hook point here has a lot of gap from this eyelet to there. You don't want to get a drop shot hook where the eyelet is even with your hook point. You want to have as much gap as you can here as possible, because look at this. It goes right into my thumb every time. If you had a hook that the eyelet came up a little further, about even with the hook point here, you can run your finger across it and maybe not get hooked up. But with these Eagle Claw trocar hooks, I'm going to be finesse fishing, so I don't have to really worry about them being bent out or anything like that. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not going to be doing anything fancy rigging it. I'm literally just going to be sticking it straight through the head like this. That's all. And I'm just going to be sitting it there in current, trying to give it as little action as possible, because the current's going to give it all the action I need. And like I said, I'm going to be using 6, 7, 8 pound line. Now the other way I'm going to be fishing this swim bait is on a Megabass Okashira screw head. This particular screw head is 1/16 of an ounce. But this bait here is something that I would do just a straight retrieve on. Now with the drop shot, I'm going to do a lot of just sitting there using the current as action. But with this bait here, I'm going to either be hopping it off the bottom or just doing a slow, steady, straight retrieve. And that little prop on the front here is going to be spinning, putting off vibration, putting off some flash. I think this is going to hammer the fish in the springtime. But what do I know? Not much. Basically, those are the two main ways I'm going to be rigging the Hazadong shad. So, moving right along, how can I talk about Megabass without talking about a Vision 110? One of the most popular jerkbaits in the entire world. Now this Vision 110, the 110 obviously stands for the length is 110 millimeters, half an ounce, suspending, and this will dive all the way to 6 feet. But when I saw this lure, this color, I had to get it. Now I do have quite a bit of Vision 110s, and none in this particular color. This color is called Champagne Concuro. It's like that purple lavender on top, gold sides. This color basically caught me. And the Megabass jerkbait is definitely, hands down, my favorite jerkbait as well. I just love the realism in the head of this bait. Has the profile of just a perfect little shiner where I live. And one thing too is you don't have to switch out any of the hardware. You can if you want to, but I've had zero issues with the durability of this lure. And one thing that's pretty cool about these Megabass jerkbaits is you can cast these quite a bit further than any other jerkbait, because they have a weight transfer system that when the bait is held vertical like this, there's a tungsten ball that slides to the bottom of the bait, and then on cast will go to the front of the bait. So you can get an extra 3, 4, 5 yards on your cast using this Megabass jerkbait. Just something to consider when you're fishing super clear water and you want to be basically as far away from the fish as possible, making super long casts. Like I said, had to have this color. Color looks amazing. Now moving on to the last bait I bought in the box. Definitely not the least. is a Great Hunting GH70 flat side from Megabass. Now, Great Hunting is Megabass's trout lineup. They have a few different Great Hunting baits. They have this, which is the GH70, they have the GH50, and then they also have the Great Hunting Humpback, the Great Hunting Heavy Duty, so they have quite a bit of different jerkbaits. But when I saw this and this color, I believe it's Ghost Pearl Lime. Yep, color is Ghost Pearl Lime. I had to have it for smallmouth. There's a couple places where I fish for smallmouth that they feed primarily on 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch minnows. They're not feeding on these big 6-7 inch baits. So this thing, I thought it would be perfect for some of the smaller rivers that I fish for smallmouth. Now, you guys heard me say GH70, which is the name of this little jerkbait. And GH, obviously, that stands for Great Hunting. 70 stands for the length of the bait. The bait is only 70 millimeters long. So it's quite a little short bait. This bait is also 4.6 grams and it's suspending. And I believe 4.6 grams is like 3/16 of an ounce, around there. So unless you have some BFS gear, you want to be throwing this on a spinning rod. And this spring, or I guess late winter, I picked up a new rod specifically to throw super light baits like this. And it's a St. Croix Premier rod. St. Croix Premier rod, picked it up for $150. It's a medium light rod with a Shimano Stratic 2500 on it. So that rod right there is going to be perfect to throw this super light jerkbait. Now this jerkbait, since it's so tiny, is not gonna give you a wide wobbling action like a bigger jerkbait would, like almost a Vision 110 would. This bait here is gonna be super tight. It's not gonna be all over the place, but super tight. And I mean, you can work it like a regular jerkbait, because that's truly what this is a mini jerkbait. Or you can just do a slow, steady retrieve. You know, just put off a super tight vibration like a crankbait would. If you guys are interested in this Great Hunting lineup, kind of this finesse jerkbait, crankbait style, the hookup tackle actually has quite a selection on these little finesse jerkbaits. Not from Megabass either. There's some from Lucky Craft, Duo Realis, and a couple others. But in my opinion, I really enjoy the Megabass. I really like that weight transfer system that they have in their baits. And this chartreuse lime pearl, I think looks amazing for a small little finesse bait. And one thing too is, this bait here, you can also use for trout. It's meant for trout. The whole Great Hunting lineup is specifically tailored towards trout over in Japan. But when I saw this thing, I thought it was going to be a perfect smallmouth little jerkbait in the springtime. Or late fall, early winter. But that is it for this evening's unboxing. And guys, I swear my channel is not going to be turning into an unboxing channel. It just so happens that I'm kind of in a slump recently where I haven't caught very many fish ice fishing. So I've been doing just some unboxings to throw out some content. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Peace.